Previously on Irving Renquist.
Renquist.
Hedges.
Ed Landry are so pleased with my segment on Hunter Noise that he's put a proposal on the table to give me editorial control of the entire show. I'm gonna kick you and your new partner off the roster.
What if we had real evidence to show people? Something to make people sit up and take notice.
Give them confirmation.
A confirmation of the one thing besides the existence of God that people most want to know about.
There's our fearless leader.
And I'm not drunk, by the way.
Good.
I think Julia is, though.
Really?
And she'll probably get fairly morose and start talking about Christine.
You need to decide whether or not you want to stay with me. And I want you to decide right now.
Okay, so this is episode 3. It's called The Goodbye, and I'm Trisha Nowens. I directed this episode.
I'm Dave Grelk, executive producer of the series, wrote the series.
Morgan Geyer. I'm assistant director for the majority of the series, and also I play Christine Kelby in this particular episode.
I'm Erica Lynn Schmeck. I played Julia Kelby.
And she's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Looking
remember
very
this scene. I remember this scene was extremely late at night / early in the morning.
This is where we're all
we were all like just a little off at that point, and we were
You
like,
see that
no,
light?
focus.
It's not real. That is fake light.
No, it is actually real light. It's just not daylight.
No, this was like the last thing we shot, and we didn't really know. Well, we knew what we were doing, of course.
You can tell the actors are a
but,
bit goozly.
Yeah. Yeah. No. There was lots of coffee involved by this time. It was a little slap happy.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
this was after the week of Micro Cinema Fest where we were finishing up this episode, because this was the second one we shot. So Trisha was in the fun position of being the sophomore director on Irving Renquist, where Nick Thompson kind of came in and defined the look of the series with Mike, and then Trisha came in and had to work within that. But I think she definitely took that and moved beyond that.
Now this was one of the things that I had a big deal about was the door opening for this, because I knew how awkward the scene should be between Sandra and Irving. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to have like this really long, awkward silence where the camera just cut back and forth after, of course, the credits, where it's just they just sit there for a really long time. and I was worried because I'm like, God, that's like a stage thing to do, and on film will it even work?
Oh, yeah.
But I was very lucky. I got to sit in the editing room with Steve Coulter, and he drinks more coffee than it's like he had an IV going, and he's just shaking there, and he's like, oh, okay. But he was great on being able to tell me what worked and what didn't work, and listening when I said, but I'd like this to be as awkward as possible.
Now here we have our
It is. Look at the awkward.
Here we have our production manager, Michelle Higgins, who took this role the day we shot it.
We were
after
calling her on
minimal
the phone
rehearsal
an hour before this.
And she talks more about that in the episode 9 commentary.
Yeah, no, she was amazing. She came in on this, she knew, I think her script was there on the desk, but she knew her stuff. She didn't, she had the character already, and I love how we tried to get the girl who was supposed to do the role for a few hours. We tried to get a hold of her, and when we couldn't,
oh, that was fun.
We were like, okay, we're gonna have Michelle do this, and she called Lauren, the costume designer, and said, I've got an hour to get ready, and our costume designer said, okay, I want you to pull these out of your closet, wear this, do your hair like that, and she came and she was the character, and I was like, this is the most efficient thing ever.
Yeah. She just jumped right in. It was great.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole series, just because of the interaction. There's so much just slinging going on in this whole scene.
Well, the strange thing about this scene, as connected to the rest of the episode, is this is the only scene that's in the direct continuity of the main series storyline, the Dottie and her ghost story. And this was one of those things that I realized it was a risky move to do an episode where 2 of the main characters of the series are not in the entire episode. But I thought it'd be a very interesting detour, and it gave me the opportunity to start telling this other story about Julia's sister and the Peppercorn Man, which we realized yesterday was only mentioned once in the entire series.
Uh-oh.
And it's only written down in Christine's diary. That's the only reference in the whole series.
Yeah.
But it's important, so
Everyone-
remember that.
Everyone note the Peppercorn Man.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah. The thing I liked about this is because I could really go anywhere I wanted. I mean, yes, this opening sequence had to be kind of along the lines of what we were establishing for the show, but the rest of the episode was not. I could do anything I wanted, but I really wanted this scene to be as light and as funny as possible because the rest of the episode is really dark. It's very sad.
Oh, yeah. This is probably one of the most depressing episodes in the whole series.
And we realized when we were
BJ.
making this, this episode is the one that, episode 1 is the mix between the comedy and the supernatural idea. Episode 2 is a very goofy episode. And then this was the one where we were going to get them in saying, yeah, we're doing something more than just that. You haven't quite figured out what this show is yet. So we went this dark direction.
Yay, dark.
And that was filmed very, very far apart from the other scene, with the other part of that scene, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like a month, I believe, between those two filmings, because we didn't have the location for the other half of it. Not this one, the other one.
Yeah,
that was fun. Getting locations.
I think the terrified look on BJ's face is hysterical.
He's just wonderful. He's just adorable. I love what he does with this role.
Look at his posture. He's keeping his face as far away from Julia as possible.
I love Erica just snapping right here. Just like, you shut... No. You don't talk.
You don't. Yeah.
And this is definitely, Erica, this is your episode. You are the dominant force in the entire episode.
I believe what you called it was Erica Heavy.
Julia.
I'm sorry.
Julia Heavy.
It is a Julia Heavy episode. And you'll notice that Irving doesn't even have much to say in the witty banter portion of this episode. So Julia is definitely the dominant force on this one.
Yep.
Yeah. But,
I like the shot really well. I do. Yes, I like the shot.
Now I remember I'd seen how casting was going to go, and when Erica was chosen for the role, I was very excited to see what she did. It's just I know she's right here, she can hear me. It's terrible, but I'm going to kiss her butt a little bit because she's amazing in this. And I'd seen so many women that would be in a dominant role and they'd play victim and they'd be all pretty, but I mean she brings so much to this role. There's so much to Julia, and it has everything to do with Erica.
Thank you very much.
It's just really amazing to watch.
And we heard a little bit of Celeste Friedman's wonderful score for this episode. When she was composing the rest of the series, she did this one piano theme that was basically Julia's theme. And when we were talking about how to do the music for this episode, we told her, listen, we'd like the entire episode to be scored like Julia's theme. So we lost a lot of the synthy elements of it, the overly supernatural elements, and went with this background piano, and I really am very happy with that. Now this is Steve Coulter on the phone.
Not actually.
Director of episodes 6 and 7 here. And he will also appear later.
And it's funny because I've seen in high school I'd seen a lot of Steve's stuff, and Steve, he anything I saw him in, it was pretty much the same standard kind of character that I had seen. And when I walked on set, I did not expect what he brought out. I was like, wow,
he's
that's
good.
Really amazing. What he was. I was worried for him. He looked.
He plays creepy stalker just a little too well.
I have to point out.
This is the last time we see Doug, right, in the series.
I believe so.
He's in the first 3 episodes, I think, and then
that's
no more.
It. He will be axed.
And that
in
was
about
the
5
last
seconds.
time we saw BJ in the series too.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he doesn't come back.
Sandra's
in charge.
Oh yeah,
after
yeah.
that.
You're right.
But I would like to point out as a little funny side note, this is the scene where we had to have someone unlock my car before every take because it would lock on its own. And I couldn't get in. There were several takes where I would get angry and storm off and reach for the handle and it would be locked.
Which took away your momentum.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and every time he went to close that door, I'm like, "Oh God, please don't don't slam her hand." Oh God.
We're not insured.
Yeah. The funny thing too is that we had to find my spare set of keys, which I didn't know where it was. Because if not, then I couldn't have started the car either. It was
There's
a
a
little
lovely
technical there. A little
Love those
technical.
little glitches.
Definitely be less dramatic in that case.
Yeah.
We were lucky it didn't really rain. Like, it was going to,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it didn't.
No, it just gave you a nice ambience with a little bit of drizzle there.
Yep.
Now this the Peppercorn Man storyline is actually an idea that's older than Irving Renquist that we were talking about. This was
Irving Renquist's big brother.
the first idea for the series was this storyline, and then we thought maybe that's a little too ambitious.
Oh, wait.
So we changed to the existing one and wanted to tease this storyline for a second season or a movie or something. Trisha, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I would. I remember poor Erica not smoking.
Yeah, I know. I was
Am
thinking
I
that
smoking
too.
right?
I had asked that several times. I was trying my hardest. I was like, if I actually inhale it,
man.
I will choke. So we don't want me to cough, I'll take.
That'd probably be good.
You know, try to make it look okay.
I just reminded myself of the horrible undertones in this whole episode about how horrible Iowa is. I would like to take this moment to let everyone know I was not that bad.
No, it's not Iowa's horrible. It's that it's far.
It is.
It's very, very far.
Iowa's worth the trip.
It's like 20 states in between. It's the other side of the world. And
I'm driving there this evening. Thank you.
I also have to say, I miss my sweater. I don't
What
know where
happened?
that sweatshirt went. I have no idea. I used to love that thing.
It smelled
That's a very
like
sad
smoke. We got
moment.
rid of it.
You'll always have this videotape
To
of you
remember
with the
it.
sweater, so you got that going for you. Also, you'll notice in the background that Irving Renquist promotes Neighborhood Watch.
No, but Irving Renquist doesn't. That's Julia Kelby who does.
Yes, that's my house.
Now, see, Erica's performance in this episode really makes you see why she's still hanging out with Irving, because you brought out the best in Brian for this one, and we were talking about on the episode 9 commentary. Irving's basically a prick. So,
Well, yeah.
for this one, this is the episode where we see, okay, there is a reason she's hanging out with him. He is a good guy. He will help out his friends. So I think that's another reason why this episode is so important.
He dares
it
to go to
kinda gives-
Iowa.
It kind of gives everyone their other side, you know, from what you've seen so far.
That's one of the reasons why I think this episode really, at a time where it starts to... there it is, Iowa. At a time, what was I saying? Okay. At a time when the episodes start getting a bit almost repetitive, this episode, like, throws everything into the wind.
Are you
and
saying in
everyone's-
episodes 1 and 2 we got repetitive?
No,
in
I'm
2
not
episodes?
saying we're repetitive. It just mixed things up to
Mixes
get
it
people
up.
interested
Well,
again.
yeah, because you think you know the characters.
Exactly.
There is like this
Thank
tongue-in-cheek
you.
thing that goes on, and then when you get to this episode, you see that
this
there's something
picture.
underneath it.
Oh, I remember this night too. This was a late.
Oh,
late
gosh.
night.
Oh, the dream sequence. Yes.
I remember this night.
Yeah. No.
Mainly because, yeah,
And that's Morgan talking backwards.
that got interesting.
Really
that
well.
was creepy.
Really well.
Probably too well for
The whole
effect.
thing about the backwards effect is it's supposed to sound a little bit more unnerving, but Morgan was so good at delivering her dialogue backwards, when I reversed it, it sounded pretty normal, so we had to muck it up a little bit more.
Oh gosh,
See-
bone breaking. Yeah.
See, no, and it's weird because I remember when you first came to me with the idea of her knocking her shoulder out, and you were asking me because I tended to do that a lot, and I was like, oh yeah,
gosh,
no, this is
that
what really
blood.
happens when you knock your shoulder out. It doesn't make a noise, but every time that I see that and it makes a noise, and you do that, I'm like, ow, my shoulder.
Well,
God.
Steve's original sound effect was so horrendous when her shoulder popped out that it was just we couldn't keep that in because it was just horrifying.
What was the sound effect right there with the gasping?
That was a gasp.
Was that me?
That was you.
Oh,
See, you're
I'm
good.
terrifying.
Very nicely done.
See, that's freaky.
And when they
I freak myself out.
What I
people.
wanted to do here was when we came back from the dream, I wanted to have it where it went to black, and then when it came right back, it was like camera went from black right up into headlights. Because, I mean, that's what would happen when you wake up. We tried, it didn't work, and I'm like, that was stupid.
No.
But luckily, we had this great camera guy in the back seat was like, now we're going to do it this way. I'm like, all right, thank you, Michael.
Who was? Oh,
I was driving block on this convoy here. I'm directly behind this car, and we had another car directly in front of it, just in case something happened. We could Well, I don't know what we planned on doing if
But
something
at least
happened.
You were there,
You-
though.
you
You were
keep-
protecting.
But we were
regulate
involved.
traffic so we could keep a good speed. I
Yes,
think
yeah.
really
Yeah.
that was the main thing. I like how the time of day it is and the colors in the background while we're driving.
Yeah, this is a testament to Brian's acting. He can act and drive at the same
Which
time.
is hard to do.
Which is and then I love how it's supposed to be what, sunrise at this point, and it's sunset.
Well, yes.
Yes.
No one needs to
Did I ruin
know.
We sell that.
that? Yeah, we do.
We got that going on.
that
so
whole
it's all
east-west
good.
thing. How would you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm also remembering?
I don't even know. I bet it kind of looks like the sun's setting in the same side. Is that a potential
Continuity.
that's the word I'm looking for. Continuity error, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know how many sunrises and sunsets you guys have seen, but it kind of lights up the whole sky.
Yeah,
You know what, Dave?
I don't know if this passes for Iowa. I've never been to Iowa. Does this look like Iowa to you?
It looks
It
like
looks-
the expressway to Iowa.
It is the expressway to Iowa.
No, it's the expressway to Joliet, actually.
Oh,
What
look,
was the
I love this
What was
outfit.
the
355, right?
355? 355 you take to get to 80, which takes you to Iowa. So thank you.
The light on this was so perfect.
You did not.
I go to
win
Iowa.
that one.
No, that
I so won that one.
the lighting in this scene was just perfect.
The creepy thing is
talked
this
to
does
God
look like
about it,
Iowa.
and it's just it was amazing how the light worked out.
I also love my costume in this scene.
It is really nice. Oh gosh, that note.
You wrote that note.
I
didn't
did
you?
write that
I
note.
love that note.
That is official Christine Kelby written note.
Yes, and actually, during this shoot, this day in this apartment is when we took the pictures for
Yes.
like any pictures of Christine and Julia, and we also Morgan and I found out that we might actually be sisters in another life because
Of
we
course.
both have webbed toes.
It was the web toe connection.
They're
Yes.
very proud of that.
Yes, I'm very proud of that.
That was good casting
I
right there.
actually
The
don't-
genetics matched.
Yeah, I actually don't meet many people that have webbed toes, so I was like, no way.
But you have it on 2 feet, and I only have it on 1.
That's true. I'm
You're
a
extra
double web.
special.
This note was rather difficult to come up with
Oh my
miscellaneous
gosh.
garbage in the middle because the only important parts are those first words on every line. So I had to come up with something that sounded like it could mean something, but at the same time is meaningless and mysterious.
Now, I love the
And
set
it-
design. For
Oh,
this,
yeah.
we had to have a guy who pretty much obviously never leaves his apartment. It's covered in leftover food all over the counters, and I mean garbage all over the place. It's the most messy, disgusting place because he doesn't
the
treat
weirdest
himself
picture
well,
ever.
and he stays like a hermit inside. And we went to my
I look
friend
funny.
Randy's house, and that's how he lives. So it was perfect. We didn't have to touch anything. Just put some stuff.
Okay,
like,
that's
you know.
awkward a
My
little bit
favorite was
for
the
your
bowl that
friend.
was sitting on the counter right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No,
because
and to be
someone,
honest, it
someone
wasn't
said,
him, it was
"Let's
his
move
roommate.
it," and I
He's
said,
very
"No,
clean.
let's not move that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful."
Ew, that's what color is that?
God knows what it was.
Ew.
Yeah, no. To be honest, it wasn't Randy. It was.
Oh,
his
and this-
roommate.
that
I'm not
shot
gonna-
I
I'm not
fought
gonna
for.
try.
All right, everyone,
That
see all
shot-
that medicine? All mine. That's
Yeah.
right.
The shower curtain rings, we shot it, and it wasn't in any of the early cuts that I saw. And I kept saying, "No, that's the creepiest thing ever because you can't take a shower without a shower curtain." And why would he just
Have
not have a
curtain
shower
rings?
curtain?
He doesn't shower. You look at him. He doesn't shower.
Well, that just
Steve,
might be
or-
a
No,
commentary
they're
on
the
Steve
character.
here.
I don't know if he didn't shower for the role, but no.
I don't know. He is kind of. what's
Chuck
the word?
Taylor's
I can't think of
represent.
words today.
And these albums are the Guardian Angel and Guardian albums that will again be important later.
Yep.
Yes, and also Steve did a great job during this, I do have to say.
Steve did a great job.
Yeah.
Like that moment?
He's
He
menacing.
leaned forward.
moment was
I
awesome.
was not prepared for. I was like,
He-
okay.
He is very menacing in a not menacing way.
Well,
you
he's
know,
desperate.
is-
He's
it's-
lost it.
This is so
And-
very unlike him.
And
Exactly. It's
people
such a
were asking
great-
about that axe in the background, and my answer to that is that Andy Belleville has seen the monsters in the darkness, and now he is protecting
he's
himself
armed.
from them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should have had that come back at some point in time in the series. Just be like, axe. Gauntlet.
I also remember, I'm not sure when it was during this episode, but sometime during this episode, I remember saying to Dave, so what exactly happens with this whole, theme of this side of the story? And you went, well, you've read the whole series. And I said, no, you only sent me the first 3 episodes. And you went, oh, well, I'm going to send you the rest tonight, so you do know what happened.
See, I had
It's
a
always good to
conversation with
know.
Angela where I said, I've sent you the whole series. And
she hadn't read
she's
it.
like, I haven't read it. And it's like, well, you probably should because there's important character development in this series. She's like, yeah, I printed them out. It's like, well, that's
a
a
step.
start. Yeah.
That's a step in the
very
right
important
direction.
Start.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for Erica on this scene. Well, she's supposed to have broken down, and I didn't want to go and do the whole, like, no, she's crying and everything. I thought it'd be more interesting to show the moment after she loses it. But I don't know how it worked out. And we tried some stuff. Like, I don't know why I thought. But I was like, I'm just going to give her some stuff and pull her aside and give her some stuff. This is you and your sister. This is your history. Think of these things. All right, go. Look
Think
traumatic.
of me, Erica.
And I have no idea how that worked out. I mean, because your performance is amazing. But you do that on your own. So
Well, no, it was. I remember sitting in that car and getting ready and like fixing my makeup so it looked like I just cried. Like I remember like rubbing my nose with a Kleenex a bunch, so like I had been crying, and then it just kind of worked real well after you give me some of those. I want to say encouraging words, but that's not exactly what they are.
This is the day
but
of
direction.
filming. This day of filming, I remember just running from everywhere. Like all the exterior scenes you see in this entire episode were pretty much shot in this one day.
Yeah.
This was the last one. It took us forever to find this spot to film.
And that night we shot the Sandra Hedges
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh man, that was
Well,
a crazy day.
our first 2 choices for this location did not pan out because there were big family type block parties at both of them, and so then we put them on this hill in a parking lot and just added sound effects of traffic, and I think it sells rest stop.
I think
Oh yeah,
so too.
I think it looks great.
I also think that one of the things that I will always notice,
Oh,
I get very
yeah,
physical.
I think we are
when I
getting
act.
to the end, aren't we?
That's always
yeah,
a good
so,
thing.
maybe we want to, any last thoughts, any last
Oh yeah,
comments? We're getting to the end.
we don't have too much time.
I was just
Irving
gonna-
Renquist rule.
Well, we
I was
do
just
have
gonna
some
say-
credits, so we have a little
Yeah.
time, but
I was just going to say, one of the things I noticed in this scene, talking about what you said, a lot of the stuff you said, I had a very physical reaction to, and if you look in the wider shots, you see my foot moving the entire time. It's one thing that I personally would change if I would notice, because it's my own antsiness.
You have no shoes on.
I have no shoes on, and my foot just wiggles.
Yeah, and that car was
And it's
hot.
like how
the candy on there
the candy
melted.
melted.
Oh yeah, I
was an
forgot
oven.
about that. Like the Twix, like we went to like try and eat the Kit Kat, and
we
you
were really excited
couldn't
to
like.
eat it
we were like,
afterwards.
okay.
Afterwards, we were like, great, we can eat these. And we were like, nope, no, we can't.
Oh my gosh! Oh no, no one wants to hear about that. Never mind.
I love those
That's
memories.
commentary for another time.
But yeah.
this is one of the few monologues in the series, and I think Erica just nailed this one.
I'm loving the music too.
I forgot about her and I can't forgive myself.
Yeah, this whole thing here came out of me wondering what you would do if you lost an immediate family member. At what point is it no longer on the forefront of your mind? Because when that immediately happens, you think, well, I'm going to think about this person every day, but at some point the balance shifts and it's not.
Well, yeah, you have to keep living.
Jeez,
On the
Dave.
You have to.
Well, this is a serious episode, Morgan. I'm sorry if I brought you down.
I'm all morose now.
But no,
No,
I
good
mean,
times.
it's a sad episode, but
It's very
she
sad.
knows that she's got to, she has a job
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh.
She has to move forward.
There you go. Taking the words out of your own mouth.
No. Out of Dave's brain.
that was also my way of making the audience think we'd wrapped up this storyline, so they wouldn't wonder about it more until we hit them with it in
Oh my gosh.
episode 7.
And also, at the end of this episode, why I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit.
That's
the
that's
last
fine.
scene in
I
this
really
episode.
hope people have seen it first.
Yes, by all means, because we just destroyed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But the last shot in this episode might be my favorite shot in all the episodes because it is just so creepy.
Oh, yeah.
This
I
whole
love
last
this.
sequence.
I love this sequence.
I agree.
Yeah, it's creepy.
You look like me right there.
So
like
cute.
really,
That's why we're cast as sisters.
I know, but it's
You
a
do
little
look,
weird.
Yeah, you do look very similar. To
I
each
never
other.
noticed how similar we looked.
I know. When I see the pictures, the one of us smiling and
Apple
happy,
juice
I'm like,
whiskey. Gotta love it.
Gotta love
Was that apple juice or was that my watered down Coke?
Oh,
that
it's
was our
probably
other-
watered down
Ew,
Coke.
watered
That's
down
disgusting.
Coke.
Yeah.
That was our other plan for us. This
At
is
least get the
Irving
right
Renquist's Christine Kelby file. that is one of my miscellaneous files. I think my love letter to you is in that file. It's my miscellaneous stuff file. So it's the kind of thing that if you pause, you get some interesting thing. That's a high school newspaper. Those are my notes for the Peppercorn Man novel that I was writing before we did this series.
This is a cute picture.
There's a
my gosh, I
review
love that
for
picture.
one of CNGM's movies under there. There's a whole bunch of interesting stuff in that pile there.
Yeah.
If any of you are wanting to see any of these pictures, they're all up on Facebook. So
Befriend Irving.
befriend
Renquist.
us.
Yeah. Irving, I think Sandra and Julia are out there.
I love how he doesn't see it. How it's
doesn't see
right there.
But you
And
can
the
see it now,
audience,
guys.
I'm hoping, it's not like, what? But it's very cool. I love that scene.
That's so creepy.
I found that
Creepy shot of
people
me being very
having
happy.
their eyes cut out, that's just about the scariest thing you can put
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah. Well,
So thanks for listening.
Thanks for everything, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
To show that there is nothing but another mask underneath a front design of twisted light.